All right. Welcome
You have
to
to pay.
episode
We both
11
talk about moving fast, and he start
of
going. You start falling.
You have to pay. You have to pay for online. You have
Inperspektev.
to pay for online.
That's fine.
Nate, stop.
Episode 11. We got some homies. We got one new homie here. Um, Mitsuma, you want to go by your first name?
Yeah, Tyler's fine.
All right, cool. We'll
Tyler.
do quick introduction round, and then
Tyler
I'll
Law.
get us moving in the right direction. Starting with Nate.
My name's Nate Kreiser. I'm from Steelton, Pennsylvania, and I'm here to party.
It sounds like
Like
what's the damn
like
show?
the intro to those
Like next.
next or,
Yeah.
like what's
On
that like
MTV.
Laguna Beach or like Big Brother or all those like. My name's Samantha. I'm 21 from Long Beach, California, and I'm here to party.
All right, next up we got Light.
My
The
name
man
is
himself.
Light. The homies call me Liggett, and I am here to rock out and vibe with the homies and shed my unique perspective on whatever we got to talk about.
Perspective.
POV.
Then we got
You need like you
ASMR.
actually need like sound bites.
dude.
Where you're just hitting it off like a radio show.
We ain't there yet, but you know, we'll get there in a sec.
We will.
Next we got Geo.
Yo, what's good, y'all? My name is Geo. I go by Geo. As one of the names I go by. Haha, because there's many. But here I go by Geo. I'm gonna keep saying Geo. But yeah, I am a dude. Playing a dude disguised as another dude. And I'm here to also share my perspective.
Oh my gosh. All right, Tyler.
Give us money so we can get sound bites.
Boy, I can pay for it outright. I ain't ask people for money.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Tyler, from DC, and
shit.
I'm here to share my unfiltered opinion on things.
Oh, this.
Boy.
Shut up.
Shout out to my life.
Boy. Unfiltered opinions are appreciated if they're
Unfiltered.
provided in the right light.
How
Of course.
dare you?
Always.
We have buzzwords for a reason. Use them
No, dude.
accordingly.
Yeah. No, dude, but
I'm
that
sorry.
like,
But-
that like, what's it called? ASMR shit, like creeps me the fuck out. Like there be people like doing random shit with like noises and stuff. I don't like it.
People that
Weird.
shave soap.
Yeah. Dude, you should look
Hold
up
on,
this one
hold
street-
on.
My fault.
Bruh, we can get into some stuff in just a
We
second.
didn't even get the train on the tracks yet. He was like, put that train on the moon.
Alright, and I'm Tevin. I'm just a dude, just like everyone else here. Just trying to live,
God.
do our thing. Hopefully have some decent conversations. Got questions, so here to ask questions. Hopefully you guys can answer them. Give me some different perspectives on some of these topics.
Ooh.
Thank you.
I got
Tyler.
you.
I'm sorry. I'll change it next time.
Unfiltered opinion.
Yeah, unfiltered perspective.
Great value perspective having.
I had to be different.
Alright,
Isn't there someone called like Tyler Law? Is he like
Probably.
a rapper or something?
Probably.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Sounds like a dude.
Maybe an
Sounds
actor.
like it could be a real name. Two names combined together.
first name we're gonna get into, as usual, some memes and tings.
What we
y'all
got?
see? Can
What we
y'all
got? What
see?
we got? Bang.
Oh, nice.
Alright, today is a special holiday. Did you guys see what today
Title.
is?
I have no idea.
No.
Okay, I got one good answer, and Liggett has the other answer. What's the other answer, Liggett?
Well, which one? Actually, there's three. There's one you may not be aware of, and I did not say this earlier, but I am in St. Louis, in the St. Louis area right now, and with it being March 14th, 314, it's 314 day here in St. Louis
Is that the area
because
code?
the area code in St. Louis is 314. So
Alright,
we
cool.
celebrating all St. Louis food and athletes and entertainers.
word.
So
Well,
Oh,
that
cute.
is not one of the three or one of the two. Today is Pi Day.
Yeah. I forgot.
Yo, nice. I like that.
And to
Mm.
other people,
Steak and blowjob day,
yeah.
yes.
Fake and blowjob. Oh.
Nice.
I was so
Who comes up with this
confused,
shit? Who
bro.
comes up with this shit? Why can't I
The
make that
internet.
like a day? Yeah.
Some homies, some bros, man. I'm just
It's
saying,
the same.
if I want to be appreciated, this isn't the way I want to go.
Steak and knobber day
Yeah,
sounds good.
I'll take me a
Mm,
tray of brownies. I don't know about y'all.
mm,
I like steak though.
Steak is cool too.
yeah.
Dude, red meat's
But
awesome.
here's the thing: fellatio should be reciprocated.
Bro jobs.
Bro,
Yeah.
Bro jobs.
Yeah.
bro jobs.
No, but like eating red meat
Yeah,
like really helps your
I'm
mental health.
It helps your mental health.
out of here
Yeah,
already.
it helps your mental health. It's really good for you.
This is next slide. He just had bro jobs and
Stimulus checks are coming
I do
out.
it for the homies.
That's dragon
Well,
something.
Dragon Tales.
Yeah, I'm actually
Dragon
Yeah, dragon.
scared
That's,
about my stimulus check.
I didn't get it yet.
why?
I like logged into the track my thing and they're like, we don't have enough info yet, or you're not gonna get it. And I'm like, but how?
I don't log into nothing. I just be in there like, you gonna show up eventually.
But what did you lose, Tyler?
I don't know. Not much yet. Nothing really.
Second Timothy. Oh, this is a corporate thugs meme.
The freaking shoes, man. I don't understand the black
The
Black
forces.
Air Force?
Yeah, dude.
So I don't understand it. It's something like the younger generation's been saying because I keep hearing that, oh, they got black forces energy, and apparently, black forces are associated with like crazy people who just like are quick to fight.
Oh, word.
And I'm like, yo, I never heard this.
Black
Black
forces.
forces are
Yeah.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They are
That seems weird.
the culmination of aggression. Look at my man. What up?
My guy.
What it do, y'all? What's
Let me
going
click
on?
on the screen real quick. Man, what's up, bro?
Like, click it.
Not
Click
much.
him.
What's up? What's up?
Appreciate you
Him,
coming
man.
through, man. Alright.
You all the way live.
Yeah, I don't have much time, but I did want to pop in and say what's up to everybody. Hope everybody's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, we doing
We
good.
like to hear it. Love to hear it.
Just wondering what was up. I was like, man, I want my boy back, but I ain't gonna push it.
I'm shaking.
Nah, I'm still around, man. Be busy on these weekends lately. That's all.
Yeah, I feel it. Alright. Otter Pops.
You know what? Look, this made me so tight. What is an otter pop?
Otter Pop is a specific brand of the popsicle.
No.
How do you not
I don't
accept
care.
that?
I don't care. You do not count.
I have
No.
never heard of this.
No?
Otter pop? No.
It might be a
Yeah, look,
Northwest
Do
thing.
not know this.
People
maybe
can't read the meme, the whole thing, but everybody has this
Repop.
energy. Excuse me, what did you call it? That's the energy that I felt as soon as I read Anatomy of an Otter Pop, and I was like, first of all, they are describing just a freeze pop,
Oh,
and they're
I
doing
know.
quite
Yeah,
well
freeze
with
pop.
the freeze pop. But
Dude, I fuck
like
with freeze pop. Too.
Well,
everything that's and look, this is a Tumblr meme. That's how far back they came to show this lunacy.
is it a Zooper Duper or a Popsackle?
Popsackle.
I ain't never hear no pop sack.
It is technically a sack that holds a popsicle, so like
Oh,
pop
Oh,
sack.
This.
no.
This. I was gonna send this to you. I was straight up gonna send this to you. I didn't think
To
about
me?
it though. Yeah. No. To
This is
Tevin.
me
Pressing
to a T.
emotions is
This is all me.
Destroy the idea that repressing emotions is a sign of strength. So that means
Oh, yeah.
keeping shit in and bottling it up doesn't make you strong.
No.
Expressing your emotions and conversation, the ability to have constructive conversations.
I thought it was like
is-
think before you speak and stuff like that.
Nah, it's repressing emotions is
Like, pretty
one
much like
example
as
of
a
it would-
guy, you'd be like, yo, you're not allowed to
Yeah.
be sad or whatever.
AKA
Yeah.
toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we can get
Huh.
into that. I mean, that's on the menu for later anyway.
Nice. Little trash talk.
Oh,
I appreciate these, Tevin.
why you shooting at me, bro?
I was like, bro, some of these feel a little bit too real at times.
I don't like this. I
Straight
thought
up.
we were supposed to improve mental health
We got to
with
put
this
some funnies
podcast.
in there.
You giving me hard to
What's wr-
swallow pills, and I don't appreciate it.
What's wrong with that? A
Mm.
little trash.
I don't know how y'all feel about this, but there's times I do feel this way.
Man,
These are some sad memes.
I am already
It's
not
memes and
feeling
tings. Sometimes it's sad tings.
it is a team.
But I feel it.
I
I
feel the
mean-
opposite of this, honestly. Like right now, I've been like, I'm just almost like freaking out last night about how I've overcommitted myself to so many different things.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm kind of the opposite of that.
Well, I think there's like a sweet spot, is what I would say.
yeah.
That's true. I agree with that. Yeah.
But that sweet spot is found like when you're playing NBA 2K1 on Dreamcast and you have to hold the triggers to like shoot the free throw.
Yeah. To balance the free throw
That's
meter.
my balance. That's how I'm trying to get there, and it is tough. All right.
I feel that.
I
feel
agree.
Yeah.
I think that could be every minute too, and every second, not just a
Yeah.
day.
Oh, there can be things that trigger you into that. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it. Like some
One
will
love.
just you drop a otter pop, and it's curtains for you for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Bro,
What's that meme? Like
No.
Bruce Jenner's dog, and it's like a cat or something like that.
oh man. Bruh, these style of memes are, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. They're funny, but it's
I
just like
enjoy these.
it's like what's going on here? Saw you post
Dude,
this,
I
Nate.
posted this on my Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, are you giving me a shout out? For that,
yeah.
or- Yeah, I posted this on my Facebook. I thought it was really cool. NFL player speaks out about being 1 year sobriety. I don't know if sobriety means like
Sober.
I guess I don't know if that I don't know if that means like not smoking a little weed, but sobriety from not drinking, going to the bar life, being washed up,
Yeah, like
Well,
whatever's
it
messing with
depends
them.
on what your
sobriety
illness was.
means. Yeah.
What was actually causing you to, because when you're going into sobriety, you have a behavior that is detrimental to you, your health, your overall well-being. So more than likely it's alcohol with most people. And some people it could be other things. Oh
I like
goddamn.
that.
The Holy Trinity?
Bro, only reason why I put this
There's-
on here is because on Twitch, Bob Ross, I guess someone made a Bob Ross channel, and so
Uh-huh.
I've been popping in there like on Fridays and Saturdays and just be chilling.
Oh, you
And
be trying to
it's-
feel good, huh?
It's so relaxing, bro.
Yeah, they have a Bob Ross commercial now where he paints a Sprite and he drinks it.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna go find
Yeah, I
that.
gotta give
I'm gonna go find that right now.
Just like,
I gotta give for the Holy Trinity. There's like one for bodybuilding that's like give a shout out to Z's, Australian bodybuilder that passed away like 2011.
I think I know what you're talking
He
about.
was like a lot of inspiration, man. Love Z's, man. Forever Myron. We're all gonna make it, bro.
Don't make it.
All right, that's all I got.
You should put the one with Robin Williams smiling, and the caption is, "This is what depression looks like," and then it shows like a goth person and says, "This is what everyone thinks depression is," or something like that.
True. Dude.
Yeah, I love Robin Williams. One of my favorite actors.
That's definitely, it goes hand in hand with like stigmas and
Stefan, what's
stereotypes
up,
and
bro?
stuff like that.
What's happening, man? What's going on?
I'm just straight chilling, man.
Nice.
For a second, I thought you were at work driving the car, but you're
Nah, I just
just
got out
chilling.
the gym and then got out the store. Had to pick up some stuff, another pre-workout and some other stuff.
nice. How's your kid?
Yeah.
How's your kid doing?
Good, man. Knows his ABCs.
Damn.
You show him he just turned 2. He's a head, that's for sure. You say kite, he says K. You say cat, he says C. You say dog, he says D. I'm like, damn, anybody be smarter than me here in a little bit.
I'll say.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
I don't
He
know.
you show him the colors on the like the crayons on the table. Pick up brown, picks up brown. Pick up point to blue, gets the blue. Say red, gets the red. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
the
My
iPad
sister
actually
just
is
had a
helping a
kid.
lot too. Like he has a lot of like the educational like songs, goofy songs, things like that, like the ABCs and 1, 2, 3 songs. So boy is moving along. So it's a proud parent.
Word,
That's
word.
awesome.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Yep.
That's what's up.
hit this real
I
quick.
love Bob Ross.
How about we add some happy little droplets? Sometimes in life you get a little thirsty, and when a refreshing opportunity comes along, you can just shoot. That's good.
That was amazing.
My goodness. Alright. I don't know if y'all want to talk about news or not. I couldn't find too much of anything. It's like a couple things. I'll go with Savannah if you have anything. I don't know if you pay attention to the news much
I
or
haven't heard
anything.
anything like off the wall that I haven't heard anything off the wall. Like I listen to a lot of Breakfast Club
Hmm.
on podcast, and they that's kind of like my news because they kind of like honestly pick up on a lot of things that are going on with politics, going on in the White House and things like that. In the past week, I haven't heard anything too crazy actually, so I got nothing.
Word, word.
The one thing I saw, doll. The one thing I saw recently is The Weeknd got snubbed for Grammy nominations, and my man has had like basically took over 2020. Like Blinding Lights was song of the year for like it's holding records right now on the Billboard Top 100. He has like 5 other songs. He's been on the top of the charts forever, and they were just like, "Nah, you're
Yeah,
good."
Blinding Lights is like was on for an
You
entire year. They said.
He was on the Super Bowl.
he did the Super
Yeah, what the
Bowl,
fuck?
but no
That shit
Grammy
never makes sense to
at
me.
all. So
Oh no,
he's now boycotting the Grammys for the rest of his life,
Oh,
and that's big because my man's gonna have like he's a hit maker. My man's got tons a really really solid body of work. He's worked with so many other uh amazing artists, like Daft Punk,
Yeah, like Daft Punk.
like Daft
Mhm.
Punk, higher,
Yeah.
further, faster.
Yeah, I
Only.
wasn't a fan of that one song, but then like when I saw that one commercial of him rolling up in his car with the black glove and the toll booth guy was like vibing out to his song, like I was like, yo, that song's tight. And then ever since then,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, no.
Something I am kind of curious about, and I guess I would need somebody who's like, you know, more in tune with the industry, is because I was, watching or listening to the Lupe and Royce podcast, which is Lupe Fiasco and Royce the 5'9",
Shout out to them.
and
Mhm.
Royce the 5'9" was nominated for a Grammy, but he didn't even know the company that he recorded his album through submitted his music, and I
Yep.
didn't know the Grammys worked like that. So that you can nominate somebody for a Grammy without their knowledge or consent. So that was interesting to me.
so who is nominated?
Basically, if they own, I mean, if it's like owning your master recordings, like you have 2 versions of what you can own from a song. One is the master recording, and then I believe it's the publishing. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. I think Tyler would also know this as well. But basically, if you're making music in their sense, like if you're an artist on a label, um, and the label owns the music, they pretty much own like your master publishing. They can send that off to anybody and everybody, and like yeah, it'll have absolutely nothing to do with you, and that's how everything gets done. Basically, what the Weeknd is doing, he is going to stop his label from sending his stuff out specifically to the Grammys. He wants nothing to do with them.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
who got nominated? Like how many people got nominated and stuff?
I mean, there's gonna be a list that comes out, but
I don't understand that. He says a bunch of old people decide what gets the Grammys. I don't
I mean
understand.
that's most anything.
Yeah. I was
That's
like,
most any academy.
whoever's on the committee,
Well,
which is usually people that have been in the industry for like the longest or just have the
uh,
money and power to do so. So
That's weird.
yeah, it is. It should be,
wow.
honestly, I would say it should be like amongst the people that are like the stars in the music industry. they should do some type of contest as far as like voting who gets nominated.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's always an interesting thing to balance, though. Like you see it with like all-star voting and like the NBA and stuff, where you get like fan vote, media vote, and other votes, and like it's so blatantly different what the coaches and the fans pick versus like what the players pick and stuff. Like it's all over the place. So it would be totally different if we changed it like that. Not saying that it would be a bad thing to do, but that would be, I feel like, a kind of complicated thing to balance. Still,
Well, you
make
would
it
have so
seem
many-
appropriate for everybody.
You have so many like just cult like those fan groups that are cult like just boosting all their numbers. Like T Swift would be like, she wouldn't drop an album for 3 years, but all of a sudden she would be nominated for a Grammy for every single year that she didn't drop an album for.
I mean, yeah, dude, if like China or India really likes a pop star or something of that nature, and their population decides to vote towards it, then you can't
stop
like,
it.
You can't stop it. They're triple, quadruple our size and population.
I got a billion people.
So
That's all powerful.
any other news we got?
The only other thing I was kind of halfway paying attention to was the
Drew Brees just retired.
I'm not super into football, but yeah, I seen that and Tom
I
Brady.
just recently
But then we'll get back to light after.
So I don't even.
But yeah, so the only thing I was kind of halfway paying attention to was we're coming up on the anniversary of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
Ooh.
Yes.
And they're I didn't read the specifics of the George Floyd case, but I know that trial is actually starting. And we're looking at murder charges now for Derek Chauvin, however you say his last name.
Derek Chauvin.
But I've never heard his name out loud before. But yeah, we're looking at like murder charges, which it's appropriate, but it's just wild to think that happened a year ago. But that's the only thing I really kind of halfway been paying attention to. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I think there's supposed to be, the last I seen, I don't know if anything's been updated since then, but $27 million settlement. And at the same time, for George Floyd's family.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I think that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, I think, or fiance, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker is the name of her
that's
boyfriend,
it. I couldn't remember.
Whatever. But he basically got all the charges against him dropped. And
Didn't he get like a $50 million settlement too?
I didn't know about the settlement, but I just seen that he got the charges dropped. Which is good, but I mean they never should have been there in the first place. So, whatever. But I'm glad he's off the hook. But stay vigilant, stay attentive, all that type of stuff. So.
Yeah. The other thing about this too, the settlements they get, it's not even coming out of any of like the police unions pockets or anything. It's just taxpayer dollars.
Yep.
Did her boyfriend have?
That's just like even more.
What's up, Nate?
There's salt. Sorry, go ahead.
Nate?
Lagging.
He's lagging.
Did her boyfriend have like trouble with the law? Is this Breonna Taylor? I am. I'm lagging.
Yeah, you lagging a little bit.
No.
Did her boyfriend have trouble with the law?
I mean, even if he did, it's kind of irrelevant because they were still breaking into his house. The whole reason that incident happened in the first place is because they were looking for somebody who wasn't there and was already in police custody.
Like scapegoat?
So, well, no, not necessarily a scapegoat. So they were looking for somebody else.
Like it was her ex-boyfriend or somebody that they was looking for.
Yeah, they weren't looking for anybody that was actually in the apartment at that time. So, and the person they were looking for was already in police custody. So I don't know how big of a mess up like how you can mess something that up. You can mess something up that big, especially if you already have the guy you're claiming to look for. And the police officers shot Breonna Taylor while she was in bed sleeping, and then, they scared Kenneth Walker. He thought somebody was like trying to break in, so he shot back. You know what I mean? And he was getting charges for shooting at police officers, and then the only charges that were filed against the officers was for the bullets that hit the neighboring apartments. Yeah. So the bullets that missed, that hit the wall, is the only thing the police officers got in trouble for. Meanwhile, Kenneth Walker is facing like serious charges for trying to defend his home and his girlfriend himself.
Yeah.
I believe
So
those charges
I'm
got
glad
dropped
he got.
though. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they got dropped, but it's still ridiculous that it happened in the first place.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the police need to do a better job of like making sure people hear what they're saying so it doesn't look like someone just breaks into your house. Like, I mean, if I don't hear anything and someone breaks into my house, I want to be aggressive. Like,
Yeah, I mean that was
Seems
also
like
a
it makes
part of
sense.
the no-knock entry situation, and that's why they,
they got a
put
warrant
in
for that probably or something
Breonna's
like that.
law,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is stopping police, and that I'm not even sure if it's everywhere. I just know it's, and
I don't think
it was
it's
in
everywhere.
SEL,
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Yeah. Like there's a
Bad.
difference between that and like a huge raid drug bust when there's like no knock entry when they blow down the door. Like that's on a complete different atmosphere of what like we're talking about. This is just like common
Yeah,
folk,
I
you
wasn't
know.
going there.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
All right, we went on from that. There was, and I don't really want to dive into it too much, but I think there was like a basketball game. Not sure what city, what state, but there was a basketball game where the announcers supposedly said racial slur
Oh
during the
yeah, they
mouth.
got caught slipping.
Yeah, during the national anthem, there was people kneeling, and they didn't take that too lightly. So
I guess they thought their mic was off.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's what I read.
Yeah, and then they were saying the N word because they thought their mic was off, so they were
What the
saying
heck?
they were saying the N word in regards to the people who were kneeling
What are you
during
talking
the
about? The
national
girls
anthem.
kneeling at the basketball game?
Yep.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that was wild.
What
I
the
just saw that this
fuck?
morning actually.
You
So
know what's
it's
crazy
crazy.
about that situation? Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, like.
No, I said it's just crazy that like I don't like to focus on negative stuff all the time, but like I feel like stuff like this is kind of important because when you say stuff like you shouldn't focus on racism so much,
Yeah.
we have stuff like this that happens and just kind of reminds us that like it's still out there and it's still prevalent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just
I don't
because
Hey,
think
you
real
it's
quick,
disagree
y'all. I just
doesn't
wanted to say that's my time. I gotta go, unfortunately, but
Right.
it was good talking to y'all.
Peace, bro.
Word.
God bless,
Alright,
man.
man.
Be safe,
Stay
man.
safe out there.
Yes, sir. All right, now.
Teen Center fan for life.
But yeah, no, it's crazy because that's a part of our school system. So, that association, I read up on it a little bit. It's a bunch of acronyms, but basically the announcers that were talking about the students were hired, like the association that they do all the games. They've done it for years. So we don't know specifically if those people have been doing it for years, but like they've been harboring those feelings for that
This
long.
was a high school game.
Yeah, it was a
It
high
was a
school
high school
game.
Yeah.
game. It was
High
high
school
school
like
girls
state
basketball
basketball. Yeah.
Jeez.
So, and they were popping off, and I was just like, man, that's just some ugly. That's a different level of ugly. But they ain't Don Imus it.
Yeah, I liked his comments back after his apology, which was like, "Oh, I'm trying to work it out of my vocabulary." It's like, the fact that it's there at all is kind of the problem, my friend.
The fact that was
You
like
know?
your automatic thought that went there,
Yeah.
that's a problem. I mean, you can disagree with someone, like we all disagree with
Yes.
people's views, but why you fucking like, yeah, just be completely evil like
It's in
that?
your body, it's in your blood.
And-
That's how you talk. That's how you chat.
and it's really unfortunate because when people issue apologies like that, and they're like, "Oh, I'm working out these feelings. I sincerely apologize for anybody I may have hurt or affected or whatever." Blah 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 blah. I ain't trying to hear
Being
that,
like whack.
because it's really like it's either you do or you don't say something. You know what I mean? Like, you're really not sorry. Like, you meant what you said. You're just sorry that you got caught.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
I bet you he didn't even
So
write it. I bet you he didn't even write it. I bet you
He
some
probably didn't write
publicist
it.
person wrote it for him.
They shot that out right from
I would not be surprised if some publicist just wrote that comment
NHS.
and then that's what he
yeah,
said he
like,
said.
I really don't understand when people say, "Oh, I'm working through I'm
My
working
racial
through, yeah,
racist
working through
feelings.
working through my racist feelings." And I'm like, bro, all you got to do is not say the N word. That's all you
Yeah,
got to
it's
do.
not that hard.
Don't say it in like you shouldn't have those feelings at all. Realistically, we should be better as people. But like if
Yeah.
you are that way and you have a job where you have to openly speak about people in public, shut up.
Yeah, that's not
Don't say
professional
anything.
at
Just
all.
shut
You
up.
know?
Like we can't say that you did something if you you don't show us that that's who you are.
Yeah.
If that's who you are, well, you're a scummy person in your own right privately.
Yes.
But
Go be
to
racist
the
in
public
private.
view, don't be racist in private.
Be professional when you're at a
Like,
post.
go be a scumbag by yourself.
Yes. In every
Right.
single light of the word scumbag.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Moving on.
Where are we going, Ted?
We go to some nerd stuff. Like I said, trying to get to the meat. Because again, I don't really have much as far as news and nerdy stuff. So if y'all want to bring up anything else, then we can rock it. But
Let's get into this nerd stuff. I'm ready to talk about this PowerPuff Girls stuff.
PowerPuff Girls stuff?
PowerPuff Girls.
What?
Yeah.
I was shown a
Nah.
post, so
Out of
What's
all
wrong with
y'all know,
Powerpuff?
I know
What's wrong with
nothing.
Powerpuff Girls?
No, I want to know what they did. What's happening? What's popping? It's coming back?
I don't know how
They're
legitimate
making
it
it.
is.
It's legit. They're making it. They just announced the casting for a live girl,
The
grown, like
CW.
teenager or like college age.
That's cool.
It's definitely a CW
Yeah.
vibe show,
But that's
man.
what I was thinking first. I was like, well, I was confused by that first, but then I thought about it. And CW is Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers, I want to say they own Cartoon Network. You know what I
I
mean?
feel like they do.
Maybe.
I feel like they
Don't
do.
quote me on that.
It's either them or Disney.
But
Take
so
your
that's
pick.
but yeah, it's a Warner Brothers property, so it being on the CW makes sense. But I just want to talk about the casting specifically because
I didn't know
my
it was gonna be
girl
like that.
Chloe Bennett,
Chloe Bennett, yeah.
is
That's
Blossom, and Chloe Bennett, if you ever watch these podcasts, hi, I love you. I want to take you out for fancy cheese.
Fancy cheese.
Not the stinky
But-
ones. Not the stinky ones.
Blang. Blang,
Some
blang.
provolone.
Some problem.
Nah. She gotta get monster.
But no, I've been watching Chloe Bennett on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. all the way through, and I love her on that as Daisy Johnson. And it's going to be a little hard for me to see her as anything other than Daisy Johnson, but
True.
I'm going to check it out.
All right. Are they gonna keep? Is she gonna be a redhead though?
I feel like they have to do that.
Will she be a redhead? Because like to go from a cartoon depiction, you have like freedom to kind of do what you want. And like if she dyes her hair for the role, that would be super dope. If she doesn't, it's okay. As long as she has the big red little I don't even know.
They gonna have to change that up somehow.
They gonna
Man,
she has
if
bunny
they're-
ear, bro.
If
They
it's
probably
going
just
to
won't
be,
make it. Go ahead.
you know what they'll probably do? Y'all seen Riverdale, right?
Yeah, I know what that is.
Nope.
So, you know what they did with Jughead's crown and how it was just a beanie with like a crown. Yeah, they'll probably do something like that where it's like, oh, she's got like an enamel pin that's in the shape of a red bow.
Like a
or something
headband,
like
maybe.
yeah.
Or they just give her like a tinier, not as cartoony one that had like, they still have like the clippy red bows. Like I think the wife has one in the bathroom. Honestly, we have like somebody leaving it here, but it's like, yay big. It's not
Yeah.
huge.
Mm.
You know, they could work it in. I feel like.
How
I
they gonna
think,
work those facial structures in? We need big heads,
Yeah, we need
Circular
round eyes,
heads.
small
like,
bodies.
just put some
I just
big googly eyes on them.
I need there to be a joke. I need there to be a joke about how like they have fingers. I just need that.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I don't even
that
know
would be
that.
great.
Fingers and necks.
Fingers, necks, and toes, and they're mostly body, less head now. So we'll see how this goes.
How would they
My
do
hope
Mojo
all with a lot
Jojo?
of these.
Oh man,
Sorry,
they're
what?
gonna Gorilla Grodd Mojo Jojo. If you ever saw The Flash,
Like the thing with a lot of these is like how are the special effects going to be done? Because I'm like a stickler for like decent show special effects. I have a lot of qualms with shows that are like takes on like old cartoons and stuff that just doesn't hit the same.
Mm.
So
That's different.
I hope they have something good in store for that. I don't
I
really
feel like they're gonna have at least decent flying action. Who's hyped for all the D&B that's about to come out of this though?
right. The
Yes,
soundtrack for original Powerpuff is fire, so I hope that
absolutely
stays as a
fire.
theme.
Go ahead and throw that on real quick because people gotta
Wait, they're on what? I'm confused.
for a long time. Y'all just now catching back up. It's coming full circle. Amen break going crazy.
Hey, what? I'm confused. Where we going?
We're going.
I don't know where Gio's going right now, but
Our
I
theme song.
You want to hear the theme song?
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Lose that monetization real quick.
Boy, it
You
didn't
said
go.
that you didn't want us to get paid anyway. Lose that monetization.
I didn't say I didn't want to get paid. I said we ain't asking for money.
All
Oh,
right, we ain't asking money.
wrong one. My bad.
Nice.
Here we go.
All right, we're gonna play like 2 seconds of it.
2 seconds. We can get a good 15.
Spice
Fine.
and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction, chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born. Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have
Yep, there you go.
dedicated their lives to fighting
TMD
crime
coming in.
and the forces of evil.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Soundtrack is tough.
Yeah, I'm real curious to see how they do a bunch of the villains. Like they're all over the place with how they look. Like it's gonna be.
Freaking amoeba
I
boys.
can't wait for the Boogeyman episode. You know the new Boogeyman memes where he's just gonna be stepping and sliding.
Blame
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on the boogie.
Blame it on-
Yo, real quick, I know the a new American Horror Story is coming out season 10. I'm not sure what the topic is. It might be from the book Something Wicked This May Come. Old book about like a fair. About this guy comes in, brings a carnival into town, and he like grants people, to grow older, younger. So basically, you go in a carousel, and if it goes forward, like then you age, and if it goes backwards, then get younger or something
Mhm.
like that. I could be absolutely wrong, but I feel like I read something. I listened to the book on Audible, but it might be like that, or I could be completely wrong. So.
American Horror Story season 10.
I am probably one of the few people that I cannot get into it.
I love it.
I've never enjoyed it.
I love it.
Never watched it.
I know a lot of people love it. It's just I've seen it, and it's just for me it was like just gore for gore's sake, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm out.
I just like how they keep the same characters and they just like the same cast and they just like change the roles and stuff.
Mhm.
That is cool.
Word.
Word.
Alrighty. The last thing I got for the nerdy side, Mortal Kombat. I guess they're supposed to be keeping the old
Fuck
iconic
yeah.
song.
Coming in with
went from
more
D&D
fire
to
tracks.
I
techno.
did not know. I know that was just a Mortal Kombat thing, but apparently it's called Techno Syndrome.
What?
Man, lagging out.
My man sounds like he's underwater right
Am
now.
I good now?
Yeah.
Oh, she's
There
just
you go.
talking? I ain't trying to listen to her talk. No, I want to hear a song.
Yeah, no, I watched this and they just talked about it. The song isn't in here. You gotta search it on YouTube.
I'm
It's all good.
sad.
It's on Spotify and YouTube.
Oh shit.
Is it like the updated
What's the
version
actual
though?
name of the song?
I mean, it's the original version. I don't think they're updating it.
Oh, Techno Syndrome.
Yeah, if you look up Techno Syndrome Mortal Kombat, you'll find it.
I mean, I
Fine.
guess.
You just look up Mortal Kombat theme too. It's fire.
Ooh, there's
Well,
a
we
old
all know
school.
it's fire.
It's an old school video that could have brought up.
Ano.
There you go.
Your mind. Test your
8
mind.
years ago.
Actually,
Yes,
go
I'm
to
actually
it.
going to play it just because you said it.
That song go. Test your mind.
Where is it at?
I just love when you go up the ladder. It's like, and then you go up and see who you're playing.
Is it not on here anymore?
Moral
Dark
respect on
Side of
2.
YouTube, you went.
There was a, I forget his name of the channel. Techno Syndrome.
Test your mind.
Alright.
Man,
Oh,
you can't have a bad day listening to that. You can't have a bad day
Honestly.
when that comes on. Oh my goodness.
Super hype.
Oh, we got a request to talk about Ninja Turtles sequel.
I didn't know that was coming up.
what's the name of the?
Or is it a sequel?
Shout
Yeah.
him out. Shout him out.
Is it Michael?
Yeah. Shout out Michael in the chat. Love you, bro.
Always holding it down in the chat. Thank you, Mike.
I'm assuming you're talking about
I don't
the
know much
video
of-
game. Okay.
I don't know much about the Ninja Turtle sequel other than that it's happening.
Is it animated or is it a real life?
I think just talking about the
Find out a
video
little
game.
bit here.
There's like a new arcade
Oh.
game, old school beat 'em up style.
Yay.
Look, not a lot tops Turtles in Time, so like.
It looks pretty
love
similar to
that.
it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Shredder's
talking about.
Revenge. It's called Shredder's Revenge.
Hmm
4-player co-op.
I can always get down for some co-op games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the early screenshots and stuff of it look pretty all right.
Straight up, man, I don't need 4K graphics. If you give me a 4-player multiplayer co-op game, I'm in
Oh,
there.
I'm so happy. Yeah,
There's
there's
nothing.
I concur.
Hmm
There's nothing better than just grabbing some friends and just having a good time. Like I don't gotta have, and I know everybody's got their preferences and whatnot, but there's too many open sandbox battle royale, Call of Duty style games out there. You know what I mean? So I'm not
Got
trying
you.
to.
Put some respect on the first battle royale that did. Put some respect on it.
I'm not.
Yeah, also,
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to yuck in anybody's yum right now.
What?
But
Excuse?
that's a new phrase I heard. You don't yuck in anybody else's yum. So if there's a bunch of people that like something and you don't like it, just let them enjoy it, man. You don't gotta. If you don't like it, you cannot like it. That's fine. But you don't gotta shit on other people for liking it. But
Okay, cool. The
Yeah, I
sexual
also like the one,
implication of that
yeah.
Go ahead,
already
Nate.
You
is just-
remember the X-Men one, the arcade X-Men? That was like 4-player, like at Chuck E. Cheese back in the day.
six
Yeah.
players.
I was about to say 8.
No, I know
but
what
yeah.
you guys, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. It
yeah.
could be like
It's
Colossus, Nightcrawler, yeah. And my mom would always get mad at me because he's like, "Why are you playing that game? You get no tickets. You can't get." I'm like, "I don't care, dude. This game's fucking sick."
Your mom was in it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, I want to see. That's what's wrong. We have a capitalist society. Everybody just wants to gain things."
Yeah, I'm
from
on a
what we make."
podcast.
Nah. heard you talking shit. That's what you heard. What'd you say about me? I wanted to do it for the enjoyment and for the experience. I ain't care about the gum or the candy that cost me 10,000 tickets at the end of the day. It
Yeah.
does nothing.
It was always
Especially-
like me and like some older kids that played it. Like I was like the youngest one on there.
Oh yeah. So
Especially
who did you get
because
stuck?
like
Who did you get stuck? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, especially because like if you look at a lot of those arcade games now that we used to love as kids, and you like go to the counter and you like trying to count your tickets for the prizes, bro. A lot of that stuff is literally just like random crap that like from the dollar store. You know what I mean?
It is, bro.
I
The
always
whole
like the
glass
one-
counter in the front would just
Yeah.
be like 99-cent plastic things from the dollar store.
Dang.
I loved getting
The
a
little
Chuck E.
flying
Cheese.
jet things that shoot the thing in the
Yeah.
air and it just floats
I
down.
like the one with like it had the
10,000
fist,
tickets.
and then you click it and the fist
Yeah.
punches out.
I
Oh, that
remember
was
that.
dude.
Bull.
Oh my gosh.
All
The little
right, so we
sticky things you
all know
fling
that
around.
game. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about your turtle because we brought up Ninja Turtles, and we're gonna talk about which X-Men character you were playing as when you played the arcade game. We're gonna start with Tev. Go Tev.
Oh, I was like, what turtle are you talking about? I was definitely a Mikey fan just because of the Chucks.
Your turtle.
Chucks and because he was the youngest. So I was like, Mikey's my dude.
You said the Chucks. You ain't give him his name. I thought you said
The
Chucks.
Nunchaku. And
Nunchaku.
I play Nightcrawler just because Nightcrawler is one of my favorite X-Men
That's
characters.
who I played.
Word. Good
Alright.
taste.
Tyler.
Oh boy, dude, I can't even tell you the last time I played this. I don't remember who was in there, and I'm bad at this.
There was Cyclops, Wolverine,
Colossus.
Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler,
Rogue.
and Rogue.
Okay, I was definitely I was gonna say I knew it.
You said
Night-
Jubilee, the girl who like throws the ball and the bomb blows up.
Jubilee.
Yeah,
So
I
it was,
was
yeah,
probably
Jubilee.
misspeaking. Nightcrawler,
Yeah,
and
Jubilee,
Wolverine
not
for
Rogue.
sure.
Nightcrawler, Wolverine.
If I remember
This
properly.
man, who cares? Look at him.
I
You
bet
really
y'all
did
can't guess
We're just
who
gonna
I
skip
played
over
on
him.
the X-Men game.
A girl character.
Both of those are actually good good choices.
Man, when it came to the X-Men arcade game, my character was Wolverine, of course, because he's the best there is at what he does, and what he does is very
Oh,
nice.
Whatever.
But
Who's your turtle?
my turtle was Raphael, because I like those kind of like edgy characters that's like, screw the rules, I'll do what I want type stuff. As a kid, now I'm
AKA
kind of
Wolverine.
leaning more towards. Yeah, like now I'm kind of leaning more towards Leo, just because I don't know. Leo's got kind of this cool vibe in a different way. Leo is what Cyclops wishes he could be.
Dang.
I'm gonna take that disrespect
response.
on the nose. I'm gonna take that disrespect on the nose. I'm gonna see you off the podcast. I'm gonna see you off podcast.
Who you got, Gio?
I'm gonna get disrespectful.
Who you got, Gio?
Mom, that perfume's
All
pretty
right,
good.
look.
That
You already
perfume's pretty
know.
good.
I hold my boy Scott Summers down all day. He is truly the leader of the X-Men. You can't tell me no different. Wolverine's a chump. For
And-
real. He just got a healing factor, whatever. Soft. And my boy Donatello, because he was smart. That is the reason why purple is my favorite color, because of Donatello, actually. He was an intelligent turtle, and he had the bow staff. That's why I want a bow staff so bad.
You need to get the both
One of these
sides in
days
there,
I'll pick
bro.
it up. Gotta have that long. You got the long
Long
staff
reach.
kick. Just taking people out. I was like, hey, don't come too close. Back up. There it is. Cheat codes in the game if y'all didn't even know. Best distance in the game.
Spears OP.
Okay. He was +2 in the frame rate. We can't make it in the fighting game logic, but he was the best. Nate, who's yours?
I like Nightcrawler, and then I like Donatello. I don't know. I was just little, and I thought the bow staff was cool, pretty
That
much.
bow staff, dog.
Yeah, I
bow
just thought it
staff,
looked
yeah.
cool when he like had it when he put it behind his back, when he walked around.
When they did this
Yeah,
very
yeah,
jaunty walk forward.
yeah. I always like on the
Turtle.
X-Men
Or
game. I like Colossus. He's like, what? And it was always like, you know, when
not on
someone was
Mag
playing,
Fest,
he'd be like,
Colossus roaring everywhere.
what?
One day we'll be able to go to cons again,
Just do that to
and
people.
we can and just yell at them. Like, yeah, dude. They had a sign. They have signs posted all over MagFest. Don't Colossus roar in this area because it's. But if you go anywhere else, Colossus roar it up.
Yo.
Bro.
And people just get there going, and it's like it's almost like saying butt scratcher,
I like
like
that.
butt scratcher. No, but it's just people. It's
Yo.
after a while,
That's
it's just such a
wild.
guttural noise. Like your
I
throat
love X-Men.
if
I
you're
feel like no
selling
one
for-
played Cyclops though in that game.
Because he's a chump.
I don't know why.
I'm gonna move off of that. Let's go into mental health before you destroy this man mentally.
I forgot that too. I'm not saying he's a bad character.
Geospace. Oh.
Oh man. All right,
I
next
love Cyclops.
topic. Next topic.
That backpedal was crazy, mate.
Next topic.
Backpedal.
Alrighty,
was
here we go.
phenomenal.
Chill out. We're moving on. All right. So, as mentioned earlier, we're going to discuss some mental health topics. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I want this to be kind of organic. I don't want to prime anybody for what we're going to get into. But I do want to start off with some stories. I have some people here that openly spoke to me about stories they've had and they're willing to share. So I want to allow us the opportunity to listen to them and try to understand, which I know most of us will. But for the people that are watching, have them try to understand what's going on and why mental health is very important to one develop in and to put some time and energy into because it's pretty similar to physical fitness in a way. So with that, I'll
And
let
also,
go ahead.
just quick note. Also, I just want to put out there. This is a disclaimer that you may hear like very eerily relatable stories or topics we're talking about, and just be cautious of trigger warnings or trigger words or anything like that, because obviously we're going to talk about personal stories, and for anybody listening or watching, you may have similar experiences. So I just want to throw that disclaimer out there.
Like that.
All right, so
Orange are good.
whoever wants to go, we can just hop into it. Casual talk about serious subjects.
That's all you, Nate.
All right, yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this one because it's really dear to me. I'll just tell you my story. My name's Nate Kreiser. I overdosed 3 times on prescription medication. I was in the hospital 3 times, and I was an inpatient twice in America Psychiatric Institute. And this year, 6 months ago, I got diagnosed with bipolar type 2. So I've been through a lot the past couple years and stuff, and I think I abused alcohol because I didn't have a good coping mechanism, and I was kind of using that as like medication and stuff. So basically, what I can say is that don't feel bad to see a therapist. Don't feel bad if you have to see a therapist for the rest of your life. Um, I would say that do everything you can do to not take medicine, and if you have to, your last resort should be medicine because you don't want to just be like popping pills for no reason. If you don't need medication, you don't. And I learned that bipolar type 2, you need medicine to survive, kind of like how a diabetic needs insulin to survive. And I'll just say with your psychiatrist, just be careful. Have your alertness out because you can go to like 4 different psychiatrists and they can diagnose you with 4 different things. I got diagnosed with bipolar type 2 in inpatient. And it's crazy because last time when I was an inpatient, I was taking this medicine called Wellbutrin, and the psychiatrist upped my Wellbutrin. And then when I overdosed my 3rd time, I was an inpatient, and a psychiatrist, Dr. Raza, was like, dude, why are you on this medication? It increases your mania. This is one of the worst things you can take. So apparently, I had like bipolar depression. So my depression was kind of covering up my bipolar. So, but I got the right diagnosis. I'm on 400 milligrams of Lamictal and 200 milligrams on Seroquel before I go to bed. And what I learned is that, there's some depression where you can man up and get over it, through mental strength, through working out. But there's some depression that you need medication for. And don't think medication is a weakness because it's not. And what else did I have to say? There's a lot of stuff going through my mind. But yeah, and I think that a lot of those words were thrown around, depression, anxiety, and I feel like people take it seriously, but I feel it's kind of like goes to the emotions because everybody in the world has depression, everybody in the world gets anxiety, but when you have true depression, like true anxiety, it's very serious, and like I've tried my best to not take medicine over the years. Like I just had like mental, like I would just imagine stuff like from like just images that kind of clear my mind. So I would just kind of do a breathing technique and imagine like Gladiator with like do the wheat and stuff. And
Hmm.
I had all this mental stuff going on, like trying to help me. And because like your mind puts stuff on loops, and if you have an automatic native thought, that thought might stay with you for like a couple months, and then you feel suicidal because you don't think you can get the thought out of your mind. And it's also like a weird like PTSD effect. I'm not saying anything. I'm not belittling PTSD, but it's like a recurring thought and you think it can't get out of your head. Like you'll be like, "Oh wow, it's been today. I only thought about it 5 times." Like your sex drive goes down, you're depressed, like you just kind of want to sleep and you're in a really bad spot in your life. And then learning that if you have a good family that helps you out, that's good. You need a good support system, helping coping mechanisms. Um, you have to be careful smoking marijuana as a coping mechanism. I know there's a lot of benefits to it, but it can also cause you to go psychotic. So talk to your doctor about the right medication for you and do what you got to do, man. And every day's a gift. Apply yourself to it and execute. And it's just really crazy because I was like really depressed because I know people in my life, people of in high school that they're married, they bought a house, never did anything bad, and I see them die in a car crash, and I'm like, why am I alive? Because I could have died 3 times doing stupid shit,
Yeah.
and here they are, didn't do anything and just fucking die. So I'm here. Everyone's here for a reason, and I'm just very fortunate. And the past month, I've been a fucking wreck. I went to the bar like 3 days in a row. I could have got 2 DUIs. I was fucked up, drinking, depressed from loved ones dying, and then that was the moment in my life where I'm like, all right, dude, I'm not gonna drink anymore.
Hmm.
I might have once a year with my dad in Florida, have like a bourbon and water and a beer, but yeah, dude, like you can't. Yeah, I do some chew, but like it's really hard. I mean I can talk here and say a bunch of shit, but no one knows what you're going through but you are. I might have an idea about, some of the diagnosis and stuff, but no one knows what you're going on with you. Because a lot of people said I'm like one of the happiest people they know, and it was really weird that they said like that they found out this stuff about me and everything, and they're like, you're the least person I would think that would happen to you. Like, you have a cute face and everything. You're like, you don't look the type and stuff. And then, yeah, man, it's a lot of crazy shit getting older. I had my parents get divorced. I ripped my shoulder out, tore my labrum. I had my aunt and uncle die within 6 months apart last year, so a lot of loss, and I didn't want that stuff to get. And I also worked with kids with autism and disabilities. I worked in paraprofessional, and I heard a lot of backstories about some kids, getting, just molested, crazy shit, household stuff, and I worked with kids for 3 years, saved a lot of lives. One student, my boy, I'm not gonna say his name, but I can say his name, but not his last name. My boy Samuel, I sat next to this student every day for 3 years in a classroom, and I saw him being a wreck, and then I saw him go at the last semester going to classes by himself, and he was going into high school next year, and I only taught middle school, and I was like, I think my life is done here. I helped him out for 3 years. I was like the perfect thing because I knew everything about Marvel. I was going through some mental health shit, so I can know you never say I know what you're going through. That's why I always say like I might have an idea, because I went through some similar stuff. But yeah, man, I my personality linked with him and taught him a lot of good stuff. And I said like respectfully, be happy being you. And yeah, man, it's just life hit you hard, man. Growing up,
Hmm.
I had like mania. I would just buy random fucking shit. I bought this jellyfish lamp for like $50. I bought a workout plan for $700, just spending my fucking money. And yeah, man, I mean, you just gotta don't feel afraid to talk to people because you go to a therapist and your mom's like, I'm your mom, or like I'm your family. You can tell anything to me, but there's just some stuff I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, it
I just
feels like
and
it should be that way, but there's a lot
yeah,
of.
and yeah, man, because I mean, suicide I think is very big in teens now. With there's all these filters. Girls think they have to look a certain way. There's a lot of like kids that go to good schools, but their parents are popping pills. They're a mess, and they think they can't live up to their parents. And it's just, I just take a shout out to Hayden Hurst. He has a suicide awareness. I think Dak Prescott has something like that. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of good foundations like that. Was it My Cause, My Cleats for NFL? I really like that.
Hmm.
And it could be anything, man. Like I know one of my sister's friends, Peyton Walker. She had a heart murmur, and she died in like an elevator in college. And they have like Walk for Peyton. It's actually a state law now. They have they basically take heart testing way more serious now with better equipment, so like if you have something. It's not just like a doctor with a stethoscope and he's like going here and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're good, blah, blah. It's actually like real EKG, like real shit, like the sonar or whatever. Just really good shit. I don't know if it has like the sonar or whatever, but it has like legit fucking shit. It already like, people got yeah, help kids' lives. And there's one thing that I never got. I think the NFL should do a better job with mental health.
All right, I'm gonna
I
cut you off
think
right
people
there, Nate.
okay.
You're saying a lot of things
Yeah.
that I want to like dive into a little bit more.
Yeah. And yeah, man, that's pretty much my story. And just, just take it a day at a time and really do that and just be thankful for what you have and be happy now, not I'll be happy when. Just set short term and long term goals, and we're all gonna make it. Hashtag Z's. One love.
I appreciate it, man. All right, like I said, there's a lot of things
Sure.
in there I want to dive into, and I appreciate you bringing all those things up.
I got you, man. That's why I was. This is like my favorite one to talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
What I've been through and stuff.
All right, go ahead, let it go.
All right, so Nate brought up a lot of good stuff. Um, I'm gonna tell my story. Um, and I went through something similar. There was a lot of outside trauma and events and like outside factors just piling on me back in like 2018. Work stress, life stress, family stress, and you know, as a kid, I wasn't really taught to deal with mental health in a very constructive way. We talked a little bit about toxic masculinity earlier, how, you got to quote unquote man up because society expects certain behavior from men and young boys. And anytime that, there was any kind of inclination that I was like, yo, I'm not feeling good, you know, I'm having some really dark thoughts. I'm having like some thoughts uh, that are, uh, leaning towards self harm. I was always afraid to speak out on those due to just things that I had witnessed in my family and the way those types of issues were treated. So I grew up not taking mental health seriously. Like I understood that I was like dealing with it, but I was totally afraid to talk about it with anyone. And uh, there's a there's a disproportionate amount of black people on top of that telling other black people like it's just black people when they're very dismissive when it comes to mental health. And like traditionally in a lot of black communities, uh, you know, if you say that you're feeling depressed or you're feeling sad or whatever, they'd be like, all right, well, don't be a pussy, you know what I mean? Shit like that. So just like everybody around me is basically telling me that I'm overreacting and that I just need to deal with whatever I'm dealing with, that it's not really that big of a deal. So I ended up going through what seemed to be a snowball at the time of life events. And that's not an excuse because my behavior was my behavior and it wasn't anybody else's fault. And one night I just drank until I couldn't feel anything anymore. And I went through an entire bottle of tequila, an entire bottle of wine, all in the span of like 2.5 hours. Kept drinking until I couldn't move. And I remember being at somebody else's house during this time period and just completely being out of it and just not myself. I remember putting messages on Facebook talking about, uh, and again, trigger warning for anybody who's uh, queasy about any of this stuff. But I put a status up basically asking people to give me reasons not to end my life that day. And I remember blacking out, waking up with a bunch of vaguely familiar faces around me. And then their solution was, and I don't want to throw anybody specifically under the bus, but I had family there with friends of my mom that weren't really like, I wouldn't say they know me well, but uh, the solution was, take them to the hospital, which I was, uh, inpatient, uh, the mental health ward of the hospital. And I was inpatient for a little over a week. Um, you know, with all the stuff you see on TV, like the people in straitjackets, and they don't give you shoes and like no sharp objects or nothing like that. And I had people bring me stuff like to read, and they would take the staples out of the books. Like that's how serious it was. Uh, so I think it's very important to just acknowledge the importance of mental health because and again, like I don't want to make it sound like I'm making excuses for anything that I did because I know that ultimately it was my fault. And but I was afraid. I was afraid to admit that I had a problem. Um I would say that I was going to look up resources and get help, and I never did. Well, I did, but a lot of the times I just didn't follow through. And a lot of this stuff, a lot of the resources for stuff like this can be very daunting to somebody who's never maneuvered those waters before in terms of like, do I need insurance to go to the doctor? Like, how expensive is it going to be if I don't have insurance? What are places around me that will respond immediately if I do feel like I'm in danger or about to do something to harm myself? Versus what am I going to have to make an appointment for in a week? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of those were all questions I kind of had to figure out by myself, and it's very stressful, especially for somebody who doesn't know that uh you know area. But I got out of inpatient. I followed the rules. I did whatever they told me to do. Took the medication, uh, and then I did outpatient therapy for a month after that. And I listened to other people in a group full of people, basically in similar situations to myself, tell me uh, about feelings that were very similar to mine. And, I had to be cleared for that before I could go back to work and be a member of society. And because they did classify my alcohol abuse as a suicide attempt. So, and I was diagnosed with severe chronic depression, and it was just kind of crazy because I had people who would like laugh and hang out with me, do all types of fun stuff with me. That as soon as this happened, they just kind of disappeared. You know what I mean? And again, not I'm not making excuses for anything I did, but it's just weird how there's such this negative stigma around mental health. I legitimately had people saying that like I went crazy and I was going psychotic and all types of crazy stuff. And it was spreading around my workplace and just like I was unemployed for about 6 months after that, just trying to basically figure stuff out. Uh um but yeah, there's definitely a conversation to be had about holding yourself accountable and being responsible for your own mental
Exactly.
health. Because while the outside world definitely does play a part and it definitely does influence you, and you might be afraid to say certain things around certain people or like hold certain things back, but ultimately the responsibility falls on you, because if you're really feeling like you're going to do something, you are the one that has to make sure it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like if you feel like you need help, you need to do it. Like somebody is just gonna sense that you need help. Like there's like I'm not Professor X. I can't just there's people that like nobody can just feel my depression. You know what I mean? I have to speak up. I'd be like, hey, can you sit on the phone with me for an hour or so? Like, I just I don't want to be alone right now or whatever. But then again, like your friends aren't always equipped to deal with this kind of stuff, and they're definitely not equipped to deal with it all the time. Everybody has their own problems. Everybody has their own demons. So I think really just hammering home the point that taking your mental health serious is serious, and you should not be afraid to seek professional help or medication if you feel like it's necessary, or even if you don't feel like it's necessary and a doctor tells you that it is. Like, it's just safer to go with what they say. And, like they definitely have more experience than you do in these fields. They've dealt with other cases and other people in regards to these types of things. So, uh, but you should definitely take it seriously. And toxic masculinity, uh, I mean, there's a lot. Like Tevin said, there's a lot of different branches. But I'm happy that I'm still here. During that time after I got out of the hospital, uh, Gio came to see me. He flew like almost 800 miles. Uh,
Oh, it wasn't,
from
it wasn't that many. I can't really.
it's like if you
It
Google
was
it,
a lot.
It
if
was a
you
long
Google it,
distance.
yeah, if you he flew from Harrisburg to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
damn, yeah,
That's a
that's
hike.
not quick.
Yeah,
That's a hike.
That's probably like
so
300, 400 miles. Yeah.
it's like 770 miles.
Oh, is it? Damn,
But
okay.
yeah, so he came to see me, surprised me on my birthday that year. We kicked it for a weekend or so, and
16
that was a
hours.
really
16 hours. All we got.
that,
It was.
um,
That was
but
tough.
I'm always gonna be like super grateful about that, because there's not always a lot. Like for one, it's not anybody else's responsibility to keep your mental health in check. You know what I mean? Now, I'm always appreciative when friends can be there for me and family and stuff like that. But I've definitely learned that like it's something I have to stay on top of. You know what I mean? I have to learn. I have to learn. I have to be able to tell the difference when I'm doing constructive coping versus destructive coping. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, and
Let's
just
dive into that.
so again, the reason I was in the hospital was because I literally drank until I damn near needed my stomach pumped. Uh, so that's definitely not a healthy coping mechanism. I know that it's a relatable feeling, and when you get depressed or you have a bad day, the first thing you do, you might want to go to the crib and just crack open a bottle and knock it back in one sitting, but that's not healthy coping. That's not constructive coping. Um, when you are in an altered state of mind, you're more likely to do things quicker and not think about it or think about the consequences of those actions.
Right.
And um, it's definitely not a healthy coping mechanism. I would say that if you do drink, it sounds corny, but if you do drink responsibly, drink in moderation. You know, if you enjoy drinking, that's fine, but don't drink to run away from your problems. You know what I mean? Uh,
I feel like that's super hard to. Again, it's just like you have
Yeah.
to acknowledge that you have a problem and be willing to be like,
Yeah.
yo, this problem exists.
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
first thing with anybody. They have to realize there's an issue. And once they do that, I mean, once you realize there's an issue, seeking help becomes the biggest proponent of it. Um, I'm sorry to kind of even hijack the story, but like what my situation, like I would say I until last year, I never really had moments of, oh, my mind isn't really working the way I want it to. Everything I feel like, I've been one of the most even killed people I've known. Um, but one thing that I had an issue with was toxic positivity, and that's probably uh I would say mental health wise doesn't really strike a chord to people like, oh, this person just seeks positivity and everything. They're Tyler says that, oh, he's Naruto. Like that's what
Yeah.
he'll call him that. And he's like, oh, everybody's gonna be cool, everything's gonna be great.
We're
Everyone's
gonna
gonna be
make friends
friends.
with them.
And yeah, I get it to a degree, but then I am an Uchiha and I understand the darkness. So
Get that
I
Sharingan, man.
um we touched on a couple different things earlier. The George Floyd, Breonna Taylor saga of 2020. Um, a lot of that affected me, mostly because one, the whole world had to deal with COVID-19, and if you were unfortunate enough to have a job that was taken away from you during COVID-19, you sat in your house for a while. And as you were sitting in your house, you kind of just, did whatever you could do to survive. You go to the grocery store. I was able to walk the dog. We went on long walks. That was like all the time I had out of the house, really. But right around, the middle of the summer when everything started to, well, not even middle of summer, end of spring, early summer when everything started to pop off, like I was living in Philly. Like I'm in Philly, so that's a major city. A lot of things were heightened there. Um, a lot of conversations were being had, whether they were good or bad, and it affected me in a couple different ways. One, since I had time to be on my phone and be looking at the news, and I had just got Twitter, so Twitter was big for me. And when it came to news and seeing things raw in the moment, and I was using Reddit a whole bunch, like I was taking in all this information that really fucked with my head. I was like, man, this kind of sucks. Like it's 2020, we're still going through this bullshit. Like, why is this such a thing? Um, we shouldn't have problems. We shouldn't have problems with, you know, black people being treated differently when it comes to law enforcement. Everybody should be getting the same script, but that's not a thing. So it got to me. I had issues. Like I had problems with friends where I was like, you see differently from me, and like you don't understand that this affects me a lot differently than it would affect you. Like let's be real, as a black man in America, you're probably one of the most like stereotyped person, and most of those stereotypes are going to be negative. We are looked at as dangerous. We are looked at as, you know, um, I would say deceptive. So all these kinds of things going on and everyone talking and, two innocent people, I mean, two innocent people died kind of back to back, but so many more have died before that. I was just like, man, I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of at a point of this shouldn't be a thing. Why is this a thing? What can I do with this energy that I'm feeling? So I started to just speak up more about it. I started to, uh, you know, be vocal about what was bothering me. And what I really started to notice is that my mind wasn't working the same way it used to. Like I would wake up and, because I had already been sitting on the couch or laying in bed most of the day anyway, I was waking up and like, there would be a pit in my stomach and I'm not moving very well. Uh, I would normal conversations would turn into mm-hms and grunts, kind of like I wasn't inquisitive at all when it came to certain things, and I never got diagnosed with anything, but just those feelings of this shit's not getting any better and it won't get any better anytime soon kind of led me toward the thought of, oh, is this what people go through every day if they have, you know, diagnosed depression? Like I've never been to that point where something was, I felt like something was wrong with me mentally. So um I would say in the long and short of it, I'm I'm able to control that a lot better. A lot of mine has been a lot of my experiences with this has been outside sources, um, you know, seeing light go through what he was going through, and kind of just feeling helpless in a sense of, my friend is far away and I can't really, I can't be there for him in the same sense of, I'm up the street and we can sit and talk about it. No, it's a phone call every once in a while, or in that time it was a call every day,
And then he has to answer it
uh,
at that.
for the most part. And yeah, he has to be willing to speak about it, or he has to be willing to reach out to me. And I'm not always, we're not on the same timetable. Like he's a time zone away, and I had so much going on, and at the time, like I felt like the people he was around weren't the best people to take care of that situation, or they always couldn't take care of that situation just because he can't talk to them in the same way he could talk to someone like me who's known him for longer. So, um, yeah, I mean, I will definitely say it's important to, as we were talking about it before, take notice of what is going on with you when you feel like something is wrong with you. Um, but actively seek help. Like your mental health is just as important as physical health. It should be almost, it should really be treated in the same way. Um,
Mhm.
we should have accessibility in the same form that, I mean, granted, it's not like you can open up a gym for your mind. I guess it's a library or something. I don't know. But we should be able to, tackle those things and not really stigmatize something that something like mental health, I should say. Yeah. I don't even
Yeah,
know where I was
like
going with this story for real. I'm just saying things at this point.
on the last part of that, like you're seeing some businesses now, thankfully, implement mental health as a part of their days off and like offering employees mental health programs. It's not commonplace yet, but I know that my dad has worked for a couple jobs now in the IT industry that has that as a standard across all of the people that work at their whatever corporation it was at. One was a casino. This one's currently a tech firm that does finance. Um, but like integration of that just like into school is probably the easiest way to approach, in my opinion. getting people to feel okay and open about mental health topics. Because like Light said too, the hardest part about it is beyond like accepting that you have something going on with you is that being able to follow through with a therapist and actually go to the appointments and find the right therapist for you is one of the most daunting things for someone who's already struggling mentally. So I think, you know, a better incorporation to our school system where it's just like, this is a thing. We're here to help you right away. You know, we can, these things might happen to you, and here's how you can help get something much easier without having to go through this whole, do I have insurance process? Like, do I have this? Like, we can help guide you into that. I think it'd be very helpful. Would have been helpful for me. So yeah.
All right. All right, Nate said he wanted to add some more. And then if anyone needs to leave, we'll be able to beat that a little bit early. You're muted, bro.
Hey, you're muted.
All right, y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right, God bless.
Yeah.
One love. So I just want to talk. This subject very very hits my heart. You know, that's why if people are listening to this, hopefully they can learn something from what I'm saying. So I worked with kids. I told you for 3 years. I have some slight forms of trauma, which after working a year later, just some stuff would just pop up, like some triggers. Like if I would watch a TV show and like how some TV shows you see kids, you find them murdered and stuff, and any like I can't watch any of that stuff. And I'll just say therapists really helped me with that and psychiatrists. And I would say focus on your symptoms, not your diagnosis, because follow your symptoms and they will get you to the right diagnosis. And I'll tell you more about my story. It's so basically 2 times. When you have bipolar, you're suicidal when you're feeling good. People think that when you're depressed, you want to kill yourself, but you're at a high. You're like endorphins are going, and you think it's the right thing to do. So I did this twice. God bless my mom was home with this. I fucking took a bunch of pills, called 911, and just waited outside to the ambulance to get me. Did that twice. And what got me there was just, working at the school after that, some forms of trauma with that. And my personality is very, very all in. So when I was drinking, I have that personality that would like drink a glass of wine before I would brush my teeth. Like it got so insane that I was drinking Jack and I was chasing Jack with like a piece of steak, like doing alcoholic experiments, doing like crazy, crazy shit. And basically, like Mr. Bartle, my late Mr. Bartle from Redland taught me that to lift people up, everyone has a basket. And if you say compliments, you fill up their basket with positive things. And all I can say is just that you got to do what you got to do. Is that you could have the best support system in the world, but it comes down to you and you to get better. And I'm trying to think anything else, but yeah, I mean, some stuff might come up, but I've been through some crazy fucking shit. Like my sister, I love her. Like last year, she tried to kill herself. They found her with a knife in the bathroom. Like we helped her out with that. A lot of mental health stuff. And I feel like the more rock bottoms you hit, the more stronger you get. My favorite quote is Romans, uh, 3. I forget what it is. It's not only so, but you also rejoice in your sufferings, because sufferings produces perseverance, and character. And I go through my life, and I like stuff. Affirmations I say is like path of righteous, extinguish evil, and peacefulness. And I always call stuff character learning. And basically, anime helped save my life with learning through main characters and just listening to them overcoming stuff. I would like, if I'm having a bad day or bad stuff in my mind, I would just take a deep breath and just think of like OSTs from Bleach to calm me down.
What
Just
would Ichigo do?
yeah, or just just calm stuff, and Yusuke Urameshi, and just a lot of good stuff. And everyone has a purpose, and there's a lot of opportunities in your life, and you have to be aware of which opportunities to take you in your life. And yeah, man, like I'm very religious. My religious helped me, help with my personal issues. And I think it all comes down to your belief. If you're religious or not, you have to have a belief. Like, if your belief is positivity and doing righteous things in the world, then do that. But I feel like you have to have a belief where you set your core values are, and then you learn from it. And yeah, man, just mental health. Medicine's not a weakness. You're not a weakness. You're a good person. You are enough as an individual. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just prove it to yourself. You make a statement, and your statement will be known, and people will acknowledge you for your success and who you are. And I'm just saying this to anyone out there with bipolar and stuff. It's uh it's pretty crazy because you don't really know what like that you have it because you watch stuff on TV. You're like, oh, I don't have that shit. I'm good. Blah blah blah. But I mean, if, and also like when you're taking a therapist, don't go through the motions. Be serious because I would be like, oh, I took an abnormal psych class in college. I got an A on it. I know all this stuff. Yada yada yada. But I mean, they're a professional for a reason. I mean, they have a fucking master's. You can't just get that off the street. Listen to professionals, also listen to yourself because when someone labels you, you have that label for life. Like bipolar, I can never own a gun. I can never, And my friend, well, I thought about doing this crazy social experiment with me with bipolar. If I would go to a gun shop and write down everything that I went through and see if he would give me a gun, because if he will, then that just shows how you know ignorant gun owners are. I'm pro gun. I love hunting and all that stuff. I'm pro gun, I mean, I'm pro everything, NRA. I love all that stuff. But like if the people are just handing out guns to, the average Joe and don't take it seriously, that is really messed up. So I hope we have stricter gun laws for mental health. And I'm pro gun, pro NRA. I love all that stuff, but you got to do what's best for you. And if you can't own a gun, or I mean, that's just life. And you go through and you just positivity. It's hard to say positivity because I can sit here and talk about all this shit and still feel depressed and stuff.
Hmm.
You got to go through your affirmations. I think it's good to have affirmations. Yeah, you have good family that helps you out, a good support system. Like a lot of my family is like, dude, stop fucking around. I mean, a lot of people love you. Like my teen center fam loves me. And yeah, man, and just I'm lucky to be alive, even talking to you. And I feel like this was therapeutic, even talking to you guys, knowing about my story and
Can,
just
can
yeah,
I
man.
harp
I
on
mean,
that just a little bit?
yeah, absolutely, man.
Um, so yeah, like I have my situations. Um, I don't think they're anything super out of the way or super important. Just like,
No, real quick. That's the thing. You don't you hear all my story, then
hold
you're
on, hold
like,
on, hold
oh
on,
my,
hold on, because I agree
no,
with you. I
my
agree with
stuff's
you.
not as bad as your stuff. Your stuff is just as severe as my stuff.
I was gonna
Don't
get into
belittle
that.
yourself,
I
man.
definitely, I agree
Yeah,
with that.
don't belittle yourself, man. Your stuff is just as severe as my stuff. You don't have to overdose 3 times. You're like, oh, my stuff's not that bad. I have a little depression. No, man. Like all the starving people in China, it's not that bad. No, dude. If you're depressed, that's just as a level as me, man. Like you all go through your personal shit and don't feel bad about feeling depressed, man. You gotta go what you gotta fucking do and get shit fucking done,
Yeah,
son. You got this shit,
yeah,
Tevin.
I agree with that. But as I was saying, because I was gonna allude to that. I went through things that I feel like a lot of us go through. Like not anything super abnormal, leaving friends, breakups, lose loved ones. And like yeah, those things could be traumatic to us in whatever variety of ways, on different intensity levels. Um, but for me, I haven't really I haven't really felt I haven't been pushed over the edge. Let me say it that way. I have thoughts of like, like why am I here? Like what am I doing in my life, And I feel like a majority of us have that feeling at some point in our life, whether it be right after high school where you like, you know, you're not tied to anything. Um, I feel like a lot of people have that feeling at that time in their life just because like you're so vulnerable, and you spent what 16, not 16, like 12 plus years in an institution that's supposed to educate you and get you prepared for life, and then right after that you're just like, well, I guess I'll,
Tossed to the masses.
yeah,
What am I doing
like I
actually?
guess I'll just work
Agree
and
with
like just move through life, find something I really enjoy and hopefully that keeps me through the days and staying happy and all that. Um, but I really don't know where I'm going with this, but I do appreciate because of talking about it. Yeah. Um, I think the fact that some of these things are so common in the communities and amongst friends and families and whatnot that it should be talked about. Because like as we already said earlier, it's pretty much mental health is like another part of your fitness level. And it's like as Gio said, it doesn't get taken as seriously. And if we get to the point to where we get comfortable talking about it, then you're pretty much exercising that mental health fitness level. Because we need to make this stuff normal,
Hmm.
in all honesty. Like there's no need for us to feel as if um what we're thinking is abnormal. Something caused it to be that way. Whether it be like chemically your brain is made up differently from what's considered to be normal, or if it's, you know, you lost a loved one, you went through something traumatic, like there's a reason why it's happening. And like a lot of people go through similar situations. And so I wish we lived in a world where we can have these conversations. We can feel comfortable having these conversations, whether it be with our family members and or with complete strangers. Like I don't know Tyler. First time seeing him in person.
Yep.
We're not technically in person,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
he's here and willing to have these conversations
Seeing
with
him in
us.
perspective.
Yeah. And it's just like I want to create a world where this is okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, and like I feel like people have to buy into it, but you know, and I think a lot of that comes from just really feeling embarrassed about our feelings, um,
Hmm.
feeling like we're not supposed to feel this way, feeling embarrassed, pretty much people thinking less of you, which I've
Yeah.
heard of multiple.
What are people going to think of me for what I feel? You know.
hmm
Right.
Yeah.
But like,
And yeah, and also you're not alone. Like automatic negative thoughts. Like don't feel bad. You're not your thoughts. Stuff comes in your head. You're not a robot. Like I would just have a simple automatic negative thought and it would go to kill yourself in like a split second. You're like, what the fuck? And my mind just racing. I know that you're not your thoughts. You have automatic negative thoughts. You're not a robot. You just be aware of it, take a deep breath. It's like when you type into Google, my therapist says, you know how you type in like Miami hurricanes and say like 5 million tabs open up that you don't want to, that just, that come up on that until you get the right tab. So there's a lot of files, that links a lot of files that come in your mind. And just know that you're not your thoughts. You're stronger than you think. And yeah, man, you're not a robot. You can't control. You think you're a bad person for all these thoughts popping up, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, why did all this one thought just go to me thinking about killing myself? And it's like, hey man, you're not your thoughts. You just got to be aware of them. Take a deep breath. And I just a big fan of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and you just it's just you are stronger than what you think,
hmm
and you are a good person, and you are enough, man.
I have a
And
question, if I can
yeah,
pose this to
for
people,
me
maybe for
or everyone,
everyone, but I'll
yeah,
let Tyler be the first to respond if he
yeah,
wants.
All right.
T
Yeah.
Law.
Go ahead.
So pretty much piggybacking off of what Nate just said, because I found myself diving into that end of my mental health. Um, I realized after certain events, I realized I did have that negative self-talk about myself, and slowly over time, I've kind of dealt with that. But I have my methodology of dealing with that, um, which required a lot of self-isolation and like being super aware of like what I'm thinking and whatnot. So I'm curious if you yourself have gone through anything like that or currently do or anything like that.
Oh yeah, that's a constant. Um, that was probably like my hardest struggle throughout most of college and leaving, like not being, in my household with my family and going to school and still having like them to be there and keep pushing me on is just like constant questions of, am I doing good enough? Am I actually living up to what my parents want me to be? I have he was a grade A student for a very long time, like National Honor Society, all of this. And my
Oh
parents
hmm
were
shit,
always sitting there telling me to,
nice.
you're gonna be this crazy thing. You're gonna go out and get an engineering degree or something, and you're gonna be a mastermind at it. It's gonna be great. Keep pushing. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm doing good on my tests, and it just got in my head, and still I've worked through it at this point, thankfully. But there still are times where I'll sit there and something will happen where I'll like do something at work and I don't feel like I got recognized for it, or then something will come back and like bite me in the ass at work. Those thoughts will just like creep back in. It's like, am I actually doing good enough? Are the things that I'm doing to like get that recognition even worth that recognition? You know, um, so definitely have those kinds of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then you get those type of thoughts and you go to the bar and like I am so ridiculous. I tipped the bartender $50 to turn the DJ up, listen to some Luke Bryan, and the bartender for 20 minutes and the bartender shift was over and the new bartender came in and turned the music down. And I'm like, "Oh, why do you got to do me like that?"
What?
Yeah, I have some wild stuff, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got anything like it?
Real quick, I just want to mention that that situation I was in, which if we're just gonna call a spade, was my suicide attempt. Uh, I know this. We usually do shout outs at the end of the episode, but shout out to my homegirl Tina. Uh, Somebody I met through cosplay. She goes by Viva Valentina on all her socials, and she literally just like stayed on the phone with me because I was going through like my whole contact list, uh,
That's what I did.
just basically trying to find somebody to talk to. And like we don't talk all the time, you know what I mean? Like I see her maybe a couple times a year, uh, but she sat on the phone with me and basically just like talked me into like not doing any more damage than I had already done. And she was on the phone with me until like I was cognizant, cognitive, until I was aware enough of my surroundings that I could kind of at least be remotely some kind of safe until somebody showed up. And Tina, I'm always thank you for that. So Viva Valentina is all her socials. She was just in People magazine. She does stuffed animal recreations on TikTok. Um, but yeah, thank you, Tina, and I'm never gonna forget that. So
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah.
You're
I'll give a
amazing.
shout out real quick. PPI, I met a lot of good people. I met this girl Chloe. We kept in touch. She's a awesome friend, and she got into Texas A&M to be a marine biologist. So love her, Chloe. PPI fam, shout out.
Hey.
Word,
yeah, I
word.
wasn't trying to rearrange the structure of things, but that's
I was
just
like,
Nah.
I feel like we're ending the show now.
no. I
Keep it
just
going.
that was important to me because
Yeah, it's
I
on your
know.
mind, man.
Like,
Say what you gotta
uh,
say, dog.
it was just important to me because, like Gio said, there was a bunch of people around, um, me like my immediate area that weren't really good for me or my mental health.
good for the situation because
Yeah,
you have to take it like this. Certain friends are great for you know whatever function you meet them in, but they don't translate over to other aspects of your life very well. And once you meet a group of people like that, and it doesn't have to be a huge group, it just could be like one or two. Like I know in Thailand, everybody on this podcast, for real, like you guys are some of the greatest people I know, and you translate to other aspects of my life seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can put you wherever, and it would just work. Like if I ever get married, these are the type of people that would be at my wedding because I was
Oh,
like,
for
oh,
sure.
they can sit with uncle.
I do the same
I
thing.
say a random uncle name, know what I'm saying, but like nobody would be fighting. There would be no fist fights unless I don't know that was a part of the deal. I don't think that would be a part of that deal.
The
Anybody
Def
would,
Jam
but
wedding.
Def
Yeah.
Jam
Hands, bro.
wedding.
I
With
do
those
everything.
hands.
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just certain people just don't translate to those other aspects of your life and can handle that or would even want to because as he
yeah.
was saying, he's going through all this stuff and people are turning his back. I'm like, me personally, I can never turn my back on somebody that is like clearly not okay, like clearly just having issues, and that part of me feels guilty in a sense for that you know, I hold myself. I'm just like, damn, like this
nah,
some
like
some way somehow it's my fault that this
Nah,
person's
okay,
going
Z.
through this, and I
okay.
can't help
Let
it.
me let me be perfectly
Go
clear
ahead.
with you.
Oh, go ahead.
You don't need to feel guilty. What happened is not
Yeah.
your fault, and
Oh
it's
no, I
not
know
like
that, but
They
like
made the
nah, like
choice.
that's an
but
issue
Go
in
ahead,
itself.
Liggett. Go ahead,
That's
Liggett.
that's completely
but nah, like it's not even. I'm not even necessarily saying that people turn their back on me. It's
different.
just one, I wasn't following through with therapy and professional help. So that's the first thing I could have done. That was a preventable measure that I did not do. Um,
Assist yourself. Yes.
um, it's like, yeah, did that situation expose people in some of my circles for certain flaws? It absolutely did,
Oh, most
but it
certainly.
didn't. But it didn't happen because of them. Like,
Oh yeah.
yes, their responses to that situation allowed me to see them in a new perspective. Uh, but
Respect.
their response to that situation allowed me to see them in a new perspective, and then I could adjust accordingly.
Right.
But it wasn't their fault, and I'm not necessarily saying like that happened because people turned their backs on me, but like it's just like I was thankful for certain people who were being there, you know, because again, like I was saying earlier, everybody's friends are not equipped to deal with that type of trauma, and they're
Exactly. That was what I was gonna say.
and
Exactly.
everybody. Can you just like, I don't know, bring it in or put it down or something? I'm like,
Do the
but
thing. Also, you keep turning around. Hi, Danny.
thank you.
Is that food? Where's mine at?
Um, but
Food girl.
Do a shot for Danny.
uh,
There you go.
everybody, everybody's friends are not equipped to deal with that type of trauma, and they're definitely not equipped to deal with it all the time. You know, our friends are not medical professionals. They're not psychological professionals. They're not
Exactly.
psychologists or psychiatrists. So yeah, it's great to lean on your friends when you're able to, but you shouldn't just expect that to happen, and you shouldn't expect it to happen all the time. So
You need a professional. Yeah.
Yeah. On the inverse of that, like kind of what Gio was saying, to tag on that, is that some people do end up feeling bad that they can't help people out of their situation. And that kind of comes into play with me because I don't know if you guys have heard like savior complex, where
Yeah.
you
yeah,
are like stuck trying to save somebody else. Gio knows all about this. This is when
You
he met
can't.
me.
You can't always
Um,
be a people pleaser, man. You can't always be a people pleaser.
It's
Do
not
your
even
yeah.
about.
best.
It's not even about pleasing people. It's about
Like I know how
taking
you
their
feel.
situation
I have an idea what you mean, bro.
and stopping. Like, uh, I
Yeah.
have a huge problem. Like, I know Tyler knows about it, but like, I have a huge
Yeah, like
Go ahead,
I'll go
Tyler.
a little into my situation with it. Like I dated a girl for 3 years ish, and I met, there were just so many red flags that came up throughout all the whole process that I just like ignored because I was like, I can fix her, like I can get her to be like this beautiful person that I think she is and that I thought I saw in her,
Yeah.
and yeah, it kind of just destroyed me, and that relationship was so toxic. Yeah. So like, that mentality can drag you into your own sort of like, mental illness in that sense. And I know that's really drove my depression throughout a certain point of my life, is that
Yeah.
I got stuck in the savior complex. So that mentality is also kind of dangerous
Yeah.
Yeah. Thing
to a
about that,
level.
I can talk
Yeah.
both things about is that you have that savior complex, then you feel bad about yourself because you can help the person. Like, I mean, like you do your best. Like, don't be like, oh, is there something I could have done? Oh, it's something I could have done. At the end of the day, it's that person's choice. Everyone has a choice, and they choose to do that. And that's what happened,
Right.
man. Don't because I feel like a
But
lot of people like Gio has that guilt, and you'd be like, oh, if there's something I could have done. I mean, you do the best you can do, and then it's the person's. You're not responsible for the person's life; they are.
of course, but like for I and to speak towards that savior complex thing, like that is that is like some people say, oh, nurture versus nature. Like your nature is to nurture if you have that,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
it gets it one is partially like an addiction. Like, oh, I can fix anybody's problems. Like I will say that. I'm like,
Sometimes
oh,
you can.
I like
Sometimes you can.
people will come to me, and I'm just like, oh, like, yeah, I will try to give them an idea of how to fix something,
Yeah,
and they
give a
don't care.
solution.
Like that's not what they care about. They want to hear about their problem. They want
Yeah.
someone to talk to and just to vent or just they want comfort. They don't want a solution. They just want comfort.
They
And
just want to be heard.
a
Yeah.
big part, yeah, they want to be heard. A big part for me was just like I was always like, let's fix this. I know how to fix it. We can do it, and it'll be real easy if we can do this. And that's not what everybody does. Like that's what I was dealing with, during all this, this extra shit last year. I was thinking I could fix a person, and they needed to take that in for themselves first. But that was something that kind of really drove home to why I was feeling the way I was.
Hmm.
The insecurity of not being able to help someone is a real
Yeah.
thing. Um, and it was tough for me. I was just like, I know I can help you fix your problems. I can help you fix all of your
Mm-hmm.
problems. This is how you do it, and it's a step by step situation. But someone that's dealing with everything they're going through, like they might not see it as cut and dry as you do. Even if they are trying to seek help, like realistically, during COVID, like you can't always find it. Like you're trying to call a therapist and they don't pick up. They are busy. They have too many clients that they're trying to telecommute or telework with, and they don't have the means to get all these people in, and it kind of drives you to a very very bad spot if you can't help people.
Yeah. There's a
So
lot of
I'm
hotlines.
not claiming Naruto. I 100% not
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, there's a lot of hotlines more than you think, but you gotta be familiar with it. And Gio, thanks for sharing that, man. I have an idea
Yeah,
of what you mean. And also, Gio, don't be too hard on yourself because you did save some lives. You did help some people. But all that
yeah.
helpingness is kind of like shattered by that one person that you couldn't, that one person. But you did a lot of good in your life, man. You helped me, man. You helped me through everything, playing Street Fighter, through all those days, playing some Smash. Was never good at it. I had some Marth links, but and
Got those Mars
I
links.
had a
Yeah,
low key like Luigi King, and then the uppercut, and that was it, man. But you're all good people, man, and
yeah.
like, I mean, of course you're human. You can feel sad and be like, oh, what the fuck, Like, don't feel like you can't feel sad, but then you character learn from it and be like, you know what I learned about helping people? Maybe I learned that can help someone else, but sometimes you just can't. Like you're human, you can't help everyone. Just like in my field, it was really hard. One of the top people said, just how I want to save everyone, all the kids. The one teacher said, in reality, Nate, you can't save everyone. You try your
You
best, but you
can't,
can't.
but you
You
can
can't.
always try. And the problem with always
Oh my
trying
gosh,
is
yes.
that
You can always
you
try,
eventually burn
always
out.
try, and
Burning out is big.
that's how I got burned out for 3 years doing that. But yeah, always try, but you can't save everyone, and it's very sad. But that's why the more people that try, the more people you save, man. Just a simple comment like my words of affirmation is my love language, and just someone saying like at work, I sent something wrong out, but one of my supervisors was, "It's not your fault. It's okay, bud. I got you." And just that little thing
That
like
turned you
really helped
around.
my day. Yeah, and yeah, man, it's just a lot of, that's why I like to talk to people. Like when my waitress comes over, I said, thank you for serving me. God bless. And, have a good day. I don't just like write the check and dip out. I like to say a little kind words to people, don't like overdo it and be like, what the fuck? But do a little,
Yeah,
like say a little cheer, like fill some baskets up, throw out some
right.
nice keywords. Like I like your bracelet a little bit, but,
I like that. Fill some
it
baskets
has a
up.
good shimmer to it. Yeah, Mr. Bartle, he passed away from a brain aneurysm in high school, and I remember working in high. I was going on graduation, walking up, and I hear this Nate, Nate. I turned around. It's Mr. Bartle, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on, Nate? Congratulations." I'm like, "Thank you, Mr. Bartle." And yeah, so he says, "Fill people's baskets up." Sometimes people's baskets are empty, and some nice words can fill their basket up of joy. And righteousness, and
That's real dope.
that's pretty much all I have to say, really. And it was very therapeutic getting that out because I know, like, you're not alone. No one knows what you're going through but you. But I feel like you can take some advice from people and learn from some people to get help, and always be familiar. Like Gio said, there's a lot of people that are busy. Therapists are busy, but there's a lot of outlets more than you think that you can get help, and that's what PPI showed me. I'm like, what the fuck? There's like all these things you can call and go to and everything. So don't feel like that one call isn't and then it's over. There's a lot of calls out there, and that will pick up. But like Jared said, like sometimes it's like you're like, what the fuck? No one would take me. It feels like, you know, what is it? That Murphy's Law is hitting you down and shit. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I'm not just talking shit. You know, I can talk shit like this, and but I'll be sad inside while I'm saying all this positive stuff. But there is more good people. There is more good than evil in the world, and you're stronger than what you think. You know, you really are.
Hmm.
And I'll just say first, last thing I'll say is that you have to get yourself better first before you can help someone else.
Comes full
Mhm.
circle, mental health. You
Yep.
gotta think about
Full
yourself. You can't
circle.
help
Yeah,
people
that's
out
why
if you aren't good.
like at work people making jokes like suicide jokes or like stuff jokes with kids. I'm like, dude, stop playing. You don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
playing like that.
That
Honestly,
is
yeah.
one thing I just really want to say real quick.
Yeah.
It's like I get that like suicide memes and like depression memes are like, quote unquote relatable, but
Mhm.
I personally find them extremely distasteful.
I
You know
agree.
what I mean? Um, it's like, yeah, like I understand and it's relatable, but it's just like to make a joke. Like for example, like I was talking to this girl, I was getting to know this girl one time, and we have a lot of stuff in common, like real chill people and like good people. But it's like every other thing out of her mouth was like a suicide joke, and I'm just like, yo,
Stop
like
playing like that. No.
chill, chill. And it's not like she was making fun of anybody else, but she was just talking about herself in like a very negative way. And I'm like, okay, like I understand how you feel, but like, god damn, like it's not as funny as you think it is. You know what I mean? It's like because I know people who will like make those kinds of jokes like very casually, but don't
Right.
actually like I don't know. Again, maybe I just have a bias because I went through it,
Right.
but uh
Yeah. It's a more sensitive
but
topic to you for
Yeah,
that
like
reason.
people
yeah,
like some people be like, "Oh shit, I messed up. I'm just gonna go kill myself." Haha. I'm like, dude, don't play like that. Like, don't make jokes like that. And I'm gonna leave. I gotta get out of here. But last thing I can say is that going to get professional help is not a weakness. Don't feel that it's like if like what Brian said. That's such a good point. Like your family can only help you so far, and your friends. Like see a professional, man. Like I'm not fucking around. Like see a professional, and also your family doctor is nice, but he's not equipped to deal with mental health. Go see a therapist. Do your research. Don't be delusional. Do your research. Do your research. Get the right therapist that's with you. Focus on your symptoms, not your diagnosis. Medication is not a weakness, and seeing a therapist and professional is not a weakness. And from what I learned in my life, it's okay to be sober. It's okay to not drink, and it's okay if I have to see a therapist for the rest of my life. It's what I gotta do to get better. And I love all you guys, and and I'm just really thankful you're in my life personally. And shout out to Z's. It's a bodybuilder that started out. He was really skinny, then he believed in himself, and he got jacked and stuff and everything. And your life will come around. Don't
Yeah.
don't go to the gym just for the girls. Don't go to the yada yada yada. Just go to the gym for yourself,
That's the
and,
only
and then
reason I go.
and people will attract you and be healthy. And that could be one of your goals on your list, go to the gym for the girls, but it shouldn't be your only reason.
Yeah.
You should have like five other reasons and shit. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I saw this. Last thing, I saw this one meme,
Every
Here we
time,
go.
bro.
and it was like a dude with his hood up doing squats, and someone's like, dude, when someone's at the gym with no headphones in doing squats and definitely
Yeah, I
going
seen
through
that.
something. And it was like that. What's that one song?
Yo,
It's like,
I felt
you're
that.
scaring me now.
Doing
What is that called?
squats, man.
What's that song called? Like it's like Cash or something. It's like, what is that song?
We good.
Like,
We good.
wait, hey, Florida Cash.
Come on, Nate. We
You
try
know
to
that?
move.
You know that song by
Hey,
Florida
yeah.
Cash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
All right, guys. I love all y'all. Peace.
Thanks for sharing your story, Nate.
God bless.
All right,
Yeah.
all right,
Love
man.
you. King. Yeah.
All right, man.
Oh man,
They had a sidebar for everything.
boy, I gotta love it. It's good at times, other times just like, but I appreciate it.
Say shout out my man.
Um, yeah, I have one more topic I wanted to go over, but I think I can just save that for another isolated episode.
Well, what is it? Just so we know.
Pretty much, we didn't really talk about toxic masculinity all that much. Like
We'll
we've
turn that
breezed
into
over
a
it.
whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
We-
we could talk about that for a while.
we've brought up
Yeah.
we brought up the subject, but we haven't really dove into it, and I do want to dive into it.
And nah, men suck.
Yeah.
We suck. No, we do a lot of damage to ourselves too, and I hate it. And we will get into it the next episode if we don't have a subject already. I'm not sure.
It would be a couple episodes out.
All
but,
right. Put
yeah.
that on your calendar, folks. We're
Panda.
gonna talk about why we're trash. We are all Oscar the Grouch.
All guys suck, and here's why.
And here's why. Bullet points.
I don't know if y'all want to get
We
into
have
anything
hundreds
else or not. Otherwise, we can call it good.
Get into anything else. I don't know, man. I feel like we're good.
I'm
Yeah,
cool.
I'm alright.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for the first time. I'll definitely be a little more chatty in the future. Just getting used to it.
Oh no worries. And it's not
Conversation is
always
very loose.
it's not always about coming in and talking. Sometimes it's chilling, taking stuff in, and sometimes asking
True.
questions. You know, there's a lot of different ways to
Yeah.
conversate or converse.
Fair.
Nah, conversate. We're not correct. We're not politically correct. We conversate.
All right.
Different perspectives of conversation.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, there he is. Now we know.
Yes. Do we need what's the closing song this week? Throw out some
Closing
shout
song?
outs. Yeah.
Oh shit, we actually use music now.
It was fun last time. Captain Planet.
All right, let's play.
We could put on
Let's-
the mayonnaise
Let's
type
throw it
beat.
back to the DMB. We had Powerpuff Girls.
D&B.
We need more DMB.
You want to put on the
Or
what's
we
it
can put on the
called?
Mortal Kombat song.
Nah.
It's either DMB or techno.
We can do the full version, I guess, of
Full version.
what am I thinking of? Power Super Power.
What is that?
Why do I know that, but I can't think of what it is.
Power Super.
It sounds really
Signal
familiar.
in the sky, yo.
Power. Yeah.
That's when you know
Signal in
when
the
you
sky.
have to
Yeah,
fly.
I have
yo.
to cry, yeah. Signal in the sky.
Hey,
Oh
what's
my
good?
god.
La, 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 la. Or I could put
That's
on,
that. That was one of them bops like that. I got a secret formula with a little bit of high
Will
and
I
a little
am.
bit of low. Oh,
Boy,
man.
beer is
Little beer is out here.
Oh, I see where you are, Gio.
Little beer is trying to escape.
I know where Gio is based on the cat.
All right, give me the song.
Of Townsville. But enough about that.
nah.
What is that?
Have you not seen this? This is like the little
Bro,
shorts that they
this
played in commercials.
Damn.
Okay.
Actually, I feel like I remember this from a long
Alright,
time
we ain't
ago.
vibing with that.
Oh,
What we
man.
looking for?
That was a jam, man. Put that secret formula on, man.
Put that secret formula on.
Alright.
We're gonna go ahead and do these shout outs.
In my lap I got.
And I have beers with me. Put on DBZ by Smith. Period.
What?
Oh boy, you're going
Man.
for Smith. You're gonna jump on Smith.
Jada?
You got to put a period afterwards.
Smith?
It's Yeah, in the by, he just meant like, is the song by them.
Yeah. DVD Smith.
See,
Oh, it's not on.
right.
Oh, you gotta go to SoundCloud, my guy.
Bro,
We ain't doing all
you
that.
about
Bro.
to
You're doing a
over
lot right
here
now.
got the freaking Dragon Radar out here trying to get me to find somebody.
Nah, no, I said we don't got to do all that. The cat is gone. Now.
Oh,
Well, that was easy.
is this it?
There it is. All right, come back. I'm gonna
Wait,
grab
you
the
saying
cat.
come back to the cat?
Yeah, that's it. She don't listen.
All right, we're doing shout outs.
All right, shout
Wow,
outs
man.
to the song.
Hold on. I'm gonna SoundCloud genius. Whoever wants to go first.
Relax.
All right, I'll go first, man. Shout out to my boy Michael holding it down in the chat.
Always holding it down in the chat. Go ahead, Mike. We see you, bro.
Shout out to everybody who is looking for a safe space to be vulnerable. I know we have a tendency to make fun of that word sometimes, but it's okay. If you're looking for just a place to feel safe and comfortable and to people to be openly expressive of your feelings with, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all aren't alone. Everybody goes through it. So shout out to you. Stay strong. Don't be afraid of your feelings. You know what I mean? You're perfectly normal. And then follow me on social media. It's light, LYGHT _ strife, STRIFE. And then follow the podcast and all the socials if you like what you heard today. So that's what I got.
I'll go next. Shout out to little Beerus right here. She's holding it down. Gonna
Tight.
get suit and all that soon. She's tight. She's super tight about being tight. Shout out to my partner Larry. We did a crazy ting yesterday. That was really dope. So follow our socials. Me at Sasuke on IG and Twitter. Follow Corporate Thugs. Follow Chrysalis Collective. If you guys didn't know, this is also the creative director of Chrysalis. I'm pointing down because he's down on my screen. Tyler is the
I'm
creative-
below you too, so it works out.
On my screen.
Perfect.
On the videos to the right.
Beautiful. Oh, okay. But the creative director of Chrysalis Collective right here has been just chatting with us, chilling as a homie. So yes. Follow Chrysalis Collective on IG. We also have a Twitter, if y'all ain't know. It's at Chrysalis Music. Shout out, as Zach Fox says, shout out my depression. That's not a joke. That's just secret formula. Oh my god, that's what y'all were talking about. Yo, this is a pop. Go ahead, Tyler.
All right. I'm just first shout outs to Gio for inviting me into this because I've had a great time with y'all. I'm looking forward to the future, and I would also shout out Chrysalis Collective. Check us out on Insta and SoundCloud, like Gio said. We have some great tunes for y'all, and then just shout out Late said as well. Anybody that's thinking about getting help and anything else, take that step. Find that safe space. Make sure you get that group built for you, and get yourself on the road to mental health recovery. That's what I got.
Word.
It's the important, y'all. Protect your brain.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, what is Light doing? I was so scared.
Not saying nothing. Light looks like an old hip hop music video.
Yeah. Where's the fisheye lens?
Yeah, let's say the fisheye lens.
It's going off.
All right. And for me, again, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate you guys taking part of this experience. I want to continue doing this, as I've said multiple times before. More conversations about weird topics, fun topic, nerdy topics. Certain things that might be considered taboo. I want to continue talking about these things because helps people out, and I think it might bring us closer together. Connection is one thing that does help fix a lot of issues. Connection and understanding. So I want to keep on pushing and striving for a better world in that perspective. With that being said,
Oh God, my voice is gone. I was yelling all day.
with that being said, follow the podcast Perspective on pretty much every social media platform, at least the relevant ones anyway. Twitter, Instagram. I'm sorry, Twitter,
Follow
Instagram.
Perspektev on Parlor.
Oh,
No.
I'm not on Parler.
No.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch,
Twitch.
what
TikTok.
else? TikTok. There it is.
You have a TikTok?
Yeah, I post like some clips on there every now and again.
There's a Perspektev TikTok.
Yeah, dude.
I did.
But you won't
God.
download it, so you know, doesn't even
I'm
matter.
not downloading TikTok. That's all.
I'm on the same boat. I'm never downloading it, so I'm sorry.
I can't. I've made one TikTok. I directed one, but I will not
Ooh.
download it. It'd be important that I directed it though. Needed to.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
what I
get
was
us
trying
out
to
of
say-
here. Oh, go ahead. You got it.
what I was trying to say when I was doing all this, I didn't realize I was muted. But
The song was off too.
shout out again. Shout out again to my girl Tina. She goes by Viva Valentina, and she is a great cosplayer and a great overall human being. And you can go find her on TikTok blowing up. Like I said, she was on People Magazine. She does stuffed animal restorations, and yeah, thank you, Tina. So go look her up.
And with that being said as well, I want to do another shout out. Shout out to the people that haven't gone out and gotten help for their mental health.
Yeah. Yeah, they need it the most.
They need it the most.
Please get some help, please, please.
Please send help. Please respond.
It's the secret formula, if I may.
All right.
It's like
It's okay.
Formula, it's just a little bit of and a little bit of. I got a secret, so keep it on the low. If I tell you, make sure nobody knows. Because in my lab I got hits. In my lab I got rhymes. In my lab I got phone. In my lab, conspiracists try to find us. You get to the lab, but information won't leak because I keeps it in the lab.